Okay, I ended up having to stop that video because there were some things distracting me at my kids at school. So here's the second piece, the completion of that last video. We talked about balancing the chakras. For those of you who don't know what chakras are, they are the energy centers. They're the energy motors. Okay, balancing the chakras. So chakras are your energy motors. In fact, I've got a picture of them right here. I throw the phone on the ground. Good job. There we go. So you can see those 7 energy motors or centers. They run up and down the body, down the center midline, and they are designed to keep all of our major organs and glands and everything working and functioning properly. And when they get blocks in them, or they start turning the wrong direction, if you will, then it creates disharmony in our systems. So we're going to balance those and clear those. This process in and of itself can be done by itself, or it can be done as part of this nipping the illness in the bud process. But when you're doing it, it can take, it can be a really quick 5 minutes in and out practice, or it could be its own 20, 30, 40-minute meditation. It just depends on what your body's needing, how sensitive you are to the energies, how much time you have, those kinds of things. Okay, so I'm making this video specifically for my friend who is female, but it applies to men too. It's just we go the opposite direction. So men's chakra system goes all the centers turn the opposite direction. So they're like gadgets, like wheels on a clock, turning like so, like yin and yang. So they turn like this. And at the same time, they also do that in the individual. So every center turns the opposite direction. So it's like wheels on a gear turning like that. Okay. So the practice itself in the energy medicine book, it starts with the root and moves all the way up to the crown. I personally have found that when I do this practice, I like to do it the other way around. I like to go from the crown to the root. It just helps clear the energy for me. It's very grounding that way. But I've also practiced it the other way, especially if I have like a lot of congestion or heavy pressure in my head and stuff like that. It just depends. So usually if I do have that, I like to clear that first. Or if I have just like a little bit of time, sometimes I'll start from the root and go up. But for the sake of this practice, I'm gonna start from the crown and go down. Start from the crown and go down. So I'm actually gonna remove my hat because you need to be able to see my crown in order to feel what I'm doing. Okay, so starting from the crown, see, it's going to be too confusing for my brain to try to translate the direction I'm going in a mirrored version because it'll throw my own inner clock off. So I'm going to describe what I'm doing, but what you're going to see in the video is probably going to be the opposite of that just because it's reflected, right? So listen to the words that I'm using, if that makes sense. So starting with the crown, let's see what we've got. So ladies, your crown chakra, it rotates counterclockwise and then it goes down that way. So we have counterclockwise, clockwise for the third eye, counterclockwise for the throat, clockwise for the heart, counterclockwise for the solar plexus, clockwise for the sacral, and counterclockwise for the root. Okay, so with that in mind, we're actually going to start the flip of that first, meaning we're going to do the opposite of the way that it turns in order to pull the negative energy out first, and then we're going to finish with the way that it turns, which is on ladies counterclockwise on the root. I'm sorry, on the root and on the crown, and men it's the opposite. So because it starts counterclockwise, I'm going to start clockwise. So I'm going to use my left hand and I'm going to go clockwise first. So I'm going to go turning to the right. And I'm going to do, I would do minimum 5 rotations. 10 is ideal. But for the sake of this video, it's already 5 minutes long. So we're going to just do 5 for each. So just pause it in between if you feel like you need to clean more energy, or if you have more. Sometimes people feel like kind of a itchy, like a like an itchy energy in their energy field as they go through this. They might feel it on their palms or their wrists or in their hands. That's just letting you know that you have congested energy that needs to be released. So starting with the left hand, going clockwise, because we're going to clear it, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to shake that out. And then with the opposite hand, I'm going to turn the chakra going the correct direction for females, which is counterclockwise. So I'm going to go to my left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shake that out. Totally reverse that. Wow. I've not tried to do this on camera before, so this is an interesting experiment. Wow. Okay, so clockwise, yes, is going this direction. So it's going to, in a circular, it's to your left side, but it's still, it's like if you had a clock facing on your face, that's the direction. Like so, even though it looks backwards. So it looks backwards when you're looking at your reflection. And then counterclockwise would be this way, even though it doesn't look like that when you're seeing it on the screen. So you have to imagine in your head that you have a clock facing outwards, and you're going to go 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, or you're going to go the other way. Right? So that would be counterclockwise. Okay. So starting with clockwise first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's throwing me off by watching it on camera because it's backwards on the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the counterclockwise. I'm finishing with that. And then I shake that off, and then I use the same hand to go that same direction, because we're going to turn the direction that we're clearing first to then close it with the other direction. So we just did counterclockwise here. So we're going to start counterclockwise here. Counterclockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's clearing energy in the third eye. I'm going to shake that off, and now I'm going to finish with clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then same thing. I'm going to do clockwise with the throat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to shake that off, and I'm going to finish with counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to shake that off, and now I'm going to start with counterclockwise in the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I actually can feel a lot of energy there. So normally I would just keep going until I feel that clearing. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to keep going. And so now, now I go clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then same thing clockwise for the solar plexus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shake that off. And then counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shake that off. And then counterclockwise for the sacral, which is just basically the belly button to just below the belly button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then shake that off. And I'm going to finish with clockwise with my opposite hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake that off, and then I'm going to finish with the root, which is just below the pubis bone. So basically between the pubis bone and the anus, actually. So it's in between that space. We're going to start clockwise and finish counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake that out. And then finishing counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And shake that out. So that's clearing your chakras. Again, the video, I'm not exactly sure the best way to flip that, but it just in your mind, just visualize if a clock was facing outwards, 12 would be here, 1, and you were flipped, it would be the opposite of that. So that would be the 12, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and so on. So you're going this way is clockwise, this way is counterclockwise, except for it's going to be reversed because it's going to be inside, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's how we clear our chakras. And then the last piece of the nipping an illness in the bud is we just do the zip up. The piece that I mentioned before that you can do with a partner is clearing your neurolymphatic points that go down your spine, which actually feels really good to do. Like I said, I can do most of them myself. I've learned how to do it myself, but it is better if you have a partner. But I will show you how to do that as well in case you want to know how to do it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show that, and then I'll show the zip up just because it's actually really beneficial to do. And if you do this in the shower, you can let the water hit those points, and you can use your intention by kind of directing the energy with your fingertips and then sending that energy that way. So you're going to start from the base of the spine, these 2 points on either side of your head, and you're going to use 1 or 2 fingers, and you're going to go outwards in little circles away from the body like that. Okay, so you're going clockwise and counterclockwise. Clockwise, counterclockwise. With your right hand clockwise, left hand counterclockwise. So starting with the base of the spine, right here, you're going to do on those 2 points. So it's just little mini circles out there. And you don't want to go directly on the spinal column. That's really important. That's a endangerment site. You want to be on the 2 little nodules on either side of those, the spinal points. So you're going to go right there, and then just like half, like maybe a couple centimeters below that, out there. Ooh, those are tense. These ones go all the way out to the side, and to the side, and to the points right there on the shoulders. There. And then you go lower than that. It's about, I would say, a few, like maybe 2 centimeters in between each. And then down, and then down, and then down. If I turn this way, you can see me. So here, 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 and then from here, those 2 points like that, and then outwards, and then outwards, and then circle, to the circle, circle all the way down, circle, 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 all the way down to the tailbone, and then out to the side, out to the side, and out to the side. Okay, so that's me doing it on myself. Again, if you do it with a partner, it's better because it feels better. It's a lot easier to do. And you may not be that flexible with your arm. So if you're not, you can just use the intention. So if you're in the shower, just think about those points and having the water hit those points in the back, all the way down, 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 right down your spine. So, okay. That is the spinal flush, and the last one is the hookup. So the hookup is the governing and central meridians, and we just go along those meridians and zip up the energy. So on the front side, it looks like this. So you're gonna go from just below the pelvis bone where the point was that I told you, just below the belly button, and you're gonna zip up the front all the way up to just underneath that the lip line right there. And then the back meridian is gonna go all the way from the spine, base of the spine, all the way up the midline, all the way up and around the crown, all the way around the front, all the way down to the nose, just to that point, and then just below the lip, and they're gonna zip together. So you're gonna do this one and the one all the way from the back, and then zip them up. Okay, so it looks like this. Zip up. One more time. I like to do it 3 times. And then I always seem to have an opening on this left side of my auric field, so I always zip up that piece too. It's just an energetic thing that I do, a little extra protection. So that's it. That's nipping an illness in the bud. It's a really long video. It's actually really like more of a 10 to 20 minute practice, but when we do it that way, it on video it takes a little bit longer. So yeah, so walking through it one more time, you've got the 3 thumps, activating your immune system, and then you do the lock of those points in between that, and then we do the governing and central meridians, the lock of those, and then we did the separating heaven and earth, and the heaven rushing in, and then we did the cross crawl, right? And then we did the crown pull, opening that. And then we did the Wayne Cook posture, which was this one, which was the seated, one leg over the top, holding the ankle, holding the side of the foot, hands are crossed over the top like that, and then switch, like so. Right. And then we clear the chakras, and then we do the spinal flush, and then the last thing we do is the zip up. So that's nipping an illness in the bud, from the Energy Medicine book by Donna Eden and Carolyn Miss. So if you ever want to invest in that book, I highly recommend it. There's amazing information in it. It was actually the first book I ever got on my journey when I started working with energy modalities and healing work a bazillion years ago. So highly recommend. And with all that, may you walk in peace, may you walk in bliss, may you walk with grace and ease through the fires of doubt and fear, and dance victoriously on the other side. I am Zen Bliss, the Tea Queen, and your Fountain of Youth activator. Blessed be.